Hello everybody, welcome to the Sunday session. I wanted to talk to you today about the cycle of change and to help you understand if you're going through some kind of transformation or some kind of change, what is happening and how you can break that cycle. So let's get on with the cycle of change. What is change and why is it so difficult? Why are we having so much problems with change? So many people are freaked out about change. Making changes is just brings you so much anxiety, stress, and you're like really not sure how you can handle it, and it's just really so overwhelming. And I want to tell you why, because there is actually a reason why you're freaking out. It's actually perfectly reasonable. You guys know that I'm very spiritual. You know what I believe in. We are one. We're part of the source. We are part of one big whole consciousness, right? So we're not separate, in fact. And this is why we want things to stay the same. We are one. We are everything that surrounds us. We are already it. This is your true essence. It's not Maya or Jane or Sarah or Tom. That's not who you are. You are actually one with the source. This is your true essence. We are put in these separate bodies to experience what it feels like to be separated from source, to learn and remember who we are, basically, and appreciate the source where we come from. It's really weird because we know what source feels like, because this is our essence. We know what eternity feels like, what immortality feels like, and then we're put in these temporary bodies that are mortal, that this life that is constantly changing, and we're like freaking out because it's like it's not normal. We need to be aligning with love. We need to be eternal. We want to be immortal. We're doing everything in our power, anything possible to stop this time from ticking, which is, by the way, only your perception. Is not actually moving, but we are really doing our best to keep things still, to hold on to something that is constant, because everything around you is movement. Why? Because this is the way this world is designed. Look around you, like stop right now and look around you right now, and you will see movement, guaranteed. You will notice your breath. First of all, your breath is moving. You will notice there's like a spider in a corner that is moving. You will notice the car outside moving. Someone else in another building, your neighbor, is moving. Something is always moving. Why? Because we are in constant flow. There is no stability here. So for you to look for stability outside of yourself, it's ridiculous. You will be frustrated and overwhelmed and disappointed all the time. It's just like you will never be happy if you're looking for like constant things outside of yourself. Because why? You are the constant. Your essence is the constant that you're looking for. You have the stability inside of you, because that's where your essence is. That's what actually helps you feel stable no matter what the hell is going on around you. You can have all sorts of chaos around you, but when you're aligned and connected with your true essence, that is actually the only thing that is stable in this world, on earth, in this life that you have been given and chosen, then nothing can shatter that peace and stability. Nothing. That is the stability that will keep you sane throughout any transformation. Seriously, any change that you're going through, if you have that connection and maintain it and stay connected and aligned and be aware of what is your true essence, and understand that that's what you need to be holding on to, and everything around you can just keep on moving because that's exactly how it's designed and how it should be, then you are cool. Like nothing can really shake you. So this is how I stay stable throughout anything in my life that is going on. Like seriously, there is nothing that can really disturb this. Nothing. It can temporarily disturb me, but I shift back from it like it's no problem. I explain now what this world is, why we are experiencing change. So first thing is really accepting change is inevitable. Okay, change is inevitable. It's gonna happen whether you like it or not. Today, tomorrow, in 2 years, in 5 years, nothing is eternal. Just like deal with that for just accept this at the beginning. Life will get easier as soon as you accept this. Change is inevitable. Embrace change. Change is great. Change helps you grow. Change brings lots of new opportunities. And you know what? If you're in a crappy situation, you really want change. So if you're feeling like shit, if you're going through some rough times, you want change. And I'm here to tell you that everything is temporary. So if you're going through some rough times, it's temporary. It will get better. Especially if you're hitting rock bottom. When I hit my rock bottom, I realized, wow, actually, there's no other way to go but up. That was the greatest revelation ever. I was like, let's see what comes up. So it was exactly what happened. I went up. If you're enjoying life and everything is working out for you, that's also temporary, but it doesn't mean it will turn to shit. Don't freak out. What we want to do is really have that change more stable, and this is what Buddhism talks about. That's how I interpret it anyway. Walking the middle path. You want to be like somewhere in the middle, as I talked about in my group. It was understanding the flow. The flow is like the pulse of the heart rate. It goes up and down, right? And so basically you really want to have those oscillations closer to the middle, so you don't experience the great highs or like low lows. You know, you want to be somewhere in the middle, so you're constantly feeling pretty much okay, and if something bad happens, you're still okay, you know. So stability is what we're looking for. Okay, so stability, my tips for stability, as I said, you know, alignment, meditation, raising a vibration, feeling good, making sure that you're doing steps to take care of yourself, because that's how you're gonna, you know, go through anything easier. Embrace the change, understand that change is inevitable and it's going to happen, and then making sure that you're connecting with the source, which is within you, which is the constant and eternal, and that's what's going to help you feel stable, because that's the truth. That's the only thing that is true in this life. Everything else is a game, but that's a topic for another lecture. What I want to say, there are several stages of change. If you want to share with me which part of the stage you are in, please do in the comments below. I would be really interested in knowing. So there are 6 stages of change. There comes a point in your life when some things in your life are just not working out. And I'm talking about like major transformation is possible when you're really not happy with most of your life. Let's say you're in a relationship that's really not working. Maybe it's abusive, maybe it's toxic, or maybe it's just not the person you like love, and you know that it's not the person for you, but you're kind of settling because nothing better can come along. You have a crappy job, you have a boss that is annoying and doesn't really appreciate you, you're underpaid, you're working long hours, and you wonder, what the hell am I doing with my life? Time is passing, I'm not really doing what is making me happy, and soon I'll be old and I won't have my health anymore, and I have wasted the best years of my life, and for what? For what? For whom am I doing this? Right? Are these the questions that you're asking yourself? That's the stage 1, discontent. You're like, what is happening? I'm not happy with my life. You're just kind of settling and thinking like, if I just hang in there, it will pass, or just maybe tolerate, or maybe you're ignoring it, or maybe you're just trying to, you know, pretend that everything's actually good, but, you know, deep down inside, you know, like it's really not. But you kind of really don't want to deal with this. Okay, the first step, discontent. You're unhappy, you deep down you know it, but you're probably ignoring it, not doing anything about it, and you're kind of just like thinking maybe that too will pass, you know, whatever. So then the second point is the breaking point, when something happens that pushes you over the edge and you're like, okay, I'm done. I cannot do this anymore. This is not the life that I desire. I'm fed up. I cannot deal with this stress anymore. I feel overwhelmed. I feel stressed out. Somebody has just pushed your button and you're feeling like, okay, I deserve better. I can do better. Life can be better. So the breaking point is actually the point where you are finally ready to make the change. Okay, so that's when you decide, like, fuck it, I'm going to do what I need to do to just make those changes in my life because I can't do this anymore. Okay, so the breaking point is like when the discontent rises high enough, basically when you're ready to do something about it. It could be through exhaustion, it could be through like a dramatic event that triggers the break. So that's stage number 2. First step, unhappy but kind of ignoring. Second step is like something happens that pushes you over the edge, or you get fired maybe, or maybe your boss is just really treating you like shit, or you know, something happens that really triggers you, pushes you over the edge, and you're like, I can't do this anymore. And then you're ready for a change. Stage 3, guess what? Making a decision. In stage 3, you're finally making the decision to do something about it. And then you're like, okay, I will not tolerate this situation anymore. I want to change something in my life. I'm taking the first step towards change. You finally have some hope. It's like maybe something can be different. And you take that class, or you sign up with a coach, or change your hair, or you go on that trip that you wanted to go, or you quit your job, you know, whatever. You finally take that step forward. You decide, okay, screw it. I'm doing this. I have it enough. I cannot deal with this. I'm going for it. Stage 3, decision. And then usually after that short feeling of empowerment, when you're moving forward and you're feeling like, okay, I can do this, yeah, and then you start taking those steps, and then it hits you. Fear. Stage 4. You start freaking out. You start being like, oh my God, can I really do this? Am I crazy? Why am I changing my life? Is this for real? Am I really able to do this? You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe it wasn't that bad. You know, actually start feeling helpless, and you become a little bit anxious about the whole idea of changing. You start doubting your decision. You're not sure if the new option is really that better. So you kind of like start freaking out. I'm not sure if I can do this, you know, start freaking out. So you have that first decision, like, yes, I'm gonna do this, and then it's just like, whoa, can I really do this? Because you finally realize, oh my God, some things are changing and I don't know if I'm ready. So you start kind of freaking out. Then step 5 is amnesia. You start forgetting why you actually got out of the situation. You start thinking like, oh, well, maybe that wasn't really that bad, and you think like, actually I'm okay with my job, or I'm okay in this relationship, or actually everything's kind of okay. I should probably go back, you know, where my situation is crappy. And it's really hard to let go of that situation because it has been a part of you for such a long time. The struggle and, you know, just being in this situation, being in a problem, being the victim, being in the drama, that it just kind of feels weird if you think about not having it anymore. So you're feeling like, oh my God, can I live without the drama? This is the question that it may sound really silly, but really tell me if you have felt this. You realize that it's actually part of your identity. It has become part of your identity. It doesn't have to stay that way, by the way, because that's kind of what I do. I clear those programs because they're just programs. They're not really who you are. Remember who you are. You're the essence of God. You are love. You are one with all. You're not a victim. That's not your identity, okay? So it's just programming. It's like on a computer. It's a software. It's something that was installed in you. It can be also uninstalled if you want to look at it that way. So totally manageable. But it's really, really, you know, hard when you get to stage 5. You start forgetting why you even started this whole process, and you start convincing yourself that actually, you know, maybe things were not that bad. And finally, the stage 6 in the change cycle is backtracking, because most people then, after freaking out and forgetting about why they started to change, they chose to go back because that's the safe option, right? You kind of talk yourself out of changing because it just feels so overwhelming, and it feels like so scary, and you feel like it's less scary to stick with what you know, even though it's not what you truly desire, and even though it's not actually making you happy, but you still choose it because it's something that is familiar and that you know and that you've lived with for years and that you can manage because it's familiar. So it's less scary than the change that you don't know what is going to bring you. It's scary because it's completely unknown and you have no idea how you will handle it and you have no idea what it will bring you. But trust me, I have done this so many times. Every single time that I took that leap of faith and stepped into the unknown, it has brought me so many benefits. I am a much happier person now than ever because of that, because I have dared to take that step forward and actually didn't freak out. I freaked out, but I would stop. Like, so my process is when I go to the decision, I make the decision, I start freaking out. But instead of going back to the amnesia, I clear the fear that I'm feeling. I clear the blocks, I clear the resistance, and then I push through it and go forward anyway and follow through with my decision and stick with it. That's what's going to make the holistic transformation happen. But you need to freaking be aware of that fear and then deal with it. Look it in the eye and just be like, okay, thanks for showing up. I don't want you actually, so you can leave now. I don't need this programming. I don't need the fear of the unknown. I don't need the fear of failure. I don't need the fear of success. I don't need a fear of judgment. I don't need a fear of making a mistake, because I know that this is what I want and this is what I'm sticking with no matter what, and I know I'll be guided. That's when the faith part comes in. That's why spirituality means so much to me, because without faith it's not gonna work really. I mean, no, you have to have faith, actually. No, you really have to have faith, because that's how I align. I have absolute faith that everything is working out, that I'm supported and guided at all times, and I need to make sure to be completely centered and aligned and grounded so I can hear the guidance and follow. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to make it. It's going to be much harder. So I need to be completely open to receiving the help that I need to make that change. So you need some help from the universe, from your mentor, from your friends, your family, whoever you can ask, and absolutely be open to receiving. That is not a weakness, it's actually a strength. It's not easy to ask for help. It's not easy to ask for help. It's easier to, ignore. But actually receiving help takes great courage. So I really encourage you to break through the fear and go for it anyway. Have absolute faith and align with faith, and every time the fear comes up, clear it. I use EFT, I use several modalities actually, but EFT is like the one that I would actually recommend for daily practice. And I actually posted the new video that you can check out, which is an EFT practice to attract miracles and raise your vibes. There's so many things I can talk about on this topic, but basically this is kind of it, and this is what the 6-step process is of the change cycle, the stages of the change cycle. So let me know where you are in your change cycle, if you're going through a change. Obviously, if you're not going through a change, then congratulations. I'm glad you have made the changes already, or you are not there yet. This world is always changing, so it will come at one point or another. But I hope this talk has helped you understand how you can break the cycle of change and make that transformation that you want to take, and make it easy. I'm wishing you an amazing Sunday. Have a great day. Check out the YouTube video that I posted. Subscribe to that channel, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, bye.